Robin the Black. The Empire called the land Hibernia. The locals still whispered Ireland and Alba when they were certain no Imperial drone perched nearby. Out in the hills where stone fences wandered like ancient memories, a single farmer lived as if the world had not changed into chrome and marble around him. The Second Eternal Empire told him to build a temple. Every citizen needed a patron deity. Every household needed a shrine. Faith monitored, logged, and scored. His neighbors chose from the state-approved pantheon. War gods with holographic halos, gods of productivity built from archived senator speeches, gods of obedience smiling like worn masks. The farmer built something smaller, a ring of stones dug out of his grandfather's field, a plank for an altar, a roof only tall enough for a man to bow his head. He left an offering of blackberries and spoke the old invitation. It had been passed down for so long, the words tasted older than the soil. The wind shifted, birds stirred, then they came. Robins, but not like any the farmer had seen. Feathers dark as a new moon. Eyes bright with a light that seemed borrowed from another sky. They landed on the stones as if they had always known the way. 100 tiny bodies moving with a single intention. The flock twisted upward. Feathers caught the air like rising smoke. Bodies merged into something tall, something familiar, something shaped in the image of a man but undeniably other. He stepped forward, all of its dark plumage folded into the shape of skin and cloak. Voice soft, curious, patient. "I am Robin the Black," he said. "You called, so I came. Tell me what you need." The farmer hesitated. Then he told the truth. "I just wanted someone gentle." Robin smiled with the kind of warmth that felt borrowed from a spring long forgotten. He blessed the land without fanfare. He nudged the soil. He quieted the illnesses that had taken 2 of the farmer's sheep last winter. He taught no doctrine. He asked for nothing except honesty. People came from nearby villages simply because the place felt good, in a way modern temples never did. The Empire noticed. They arrived with their polished armor and aloof voices. They admired the stone circle, then quietly replaced half of it with marble beams and surveillance pillars disguised as votive lamps. They drew plans for a proper cathedral. They measured the farmer's land as if already owned. Robin watched from the threshold. An unearthly expression moved across his face. The farmer felt a pit open in his stomach. The praetor smiled the way a blade glints. "Your God is gathering followers," he said. "We will help shape the doctrine. We will ensure it is appropriate." Robin stepped away towards the forest. His feathers loosened. His outline wavered. "Do not let them speak for me," he whispered to the farmer. And then he dissolved into a storm of black feathers that scattered across the sky, each one catching the light for a heartbeat before vanishing. The miracles vanished with him. The crops held steady at first, then they dimmed. Animals sickened as they used to. Visitors stopped coming, confused by the silence in the air. The Empire built its cathedral anyway, claiming that Robin now worked through them. They printed hymns the god had never spoken. They invented commandments that stank of Senate politics. They issued punishments in his name. By the time the cathedral was finished, the gentle god's name had been remade into something controllable. A banner, a leash, a justification. Years passed like slow frost. The farmer grew old. The world hardened around him. Imperial doctrine took the last of Robin's name and turned it into a weapon sharpened by piety. When the farmer's time came, he lay in the same house he had lived in all his life. The air smelled of peat fire and the earth he had tended with his own hands. His breath grew thin. but his gaze stayed fixed on the window. Outside, dusk gathered over the hills. A small shape landed on the sill, light as a memory, quiet as a secret. A single black robin, placing a small branch of blackberries down. Its eyes were familiar, warm, knowing. The bird dipped its head once, a tiny gesture, a promise, the kind given only between two souls who remember the same truth, even when the world works so hard to bury it. The farmer breathed out, knowing he had not been abandoned. Not truly, not ever. And the little robin stayed with him until the room fell still. Thank you for listening to Robin the Black, a story of gentle divinity, stolen faith, and a god who refuses to be owned by empire. Today's story seed came from Dan, who wrote, "Temples are built for gods. Knowing this, a farmer builds a small temple to see what kind of god turns up. He credits his idea to an unknown original source, but it was his spark that grew into this tale. If this story stirred something in you, leave a comment. Tell me what you felt, what you feared, what stayed with you. And if you've got a seed for the next story, drop it below. I might turn your idea into the next nightmare that breathes. For the written version, and more myth, horror, and speculative fiction, you'll find it on my Substack. And if you haven't yet, follow, subscribe, share the dark. Karl Otto's Dark Anthology, where your nightmares breathe.